everybody, welcome back to Cooking with Grandmommy. I hope you enjoyed your Easter dinner and all the good food, plus all the extra candy. After all, it's a time to celebrate. We had a fun time here with friends and family, and lots of good recipes on the table. So I hope you found maybe one or two of Grandmommy's recipes, something that you wanted to share on your Easter table. So today what we're going to do is make a soup that's going to use up our leftover ham. So it's called potato ham and cheese soup, and if you know my sweet daughter, Miss Becky, this is her recipe that she made up quite a few years ago, and it has become a family favorite. So we're going to start out here. I'm actually making a triple recipe, but I'm going to give you directions for a single recipe. You start out with 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of flour, because this is going to be your thickening. And you, before you put your flour in, you're going to brown up about 3 tablespoons of onions in the butter. Again, if your family doesn't like onions or your kids don't, you can leave that out. And then you're going to add in a half a teaspoon of salt and a half a teaspoon of pepper, and you're just going to cook all this together until it is blended in well. I'm using a whisk for this part to get everything blended. And then once this is going on, you can even just use a fork to blend it if you don't have whisks. You're gonna want to add 2 cups of milk. Now before I started this step, I peeled and cut up my potatoes in bite-sized pieces. This is kind of the same step you would take as when you were making mashed potatoes. And I went ahead and boiled those, and I've drained the water off, so they're ready to go into my soup. So I'm going to get this milk warmed up. I'm mixing it up with the flour and the butter, the onions, the salt, and the pepper. We're going to let this get thick. Potato soup is so yummy. And then when you add the ham, and there's a little extra surprise in this one, you add corn. And that gives it some extra texture and some extra flavor. All right, so stirring together the butter, which I stirred flour, salt, and pepper into, and I had sauteed a few onions. I added the 2 cups of milk, and now that is getting thick. So I've cooked this probably for about 10 minutes. So now it's time to add in the cheese, the yummy part. For a single batch, you can add anywhere from 1 to 2 cups. You decide how cheesy you would like to have it. Remember, I'm making I'm making 3 recipes, so I'm adding in 4 cups here. So stir that into your milk and flour mixture, and if you'd like it to be cheesier, add more cheese. But this looks pretty good as is. So now I'm ready to pour in my pre-cooked potatoes. See how they've been cut down into bite-sized pieces. Get them all out of there. All right, and now I'm going to switch over to a spoon. Mix in the potatoes. My ham, my leftover ham, I chopped it up into bite-sized pieces. Are you getting hungry? And a little treat at the end, corn. If you're making a single batch, just use a half a can. But since I'm doing multiple batches, I'm going to pour the whole can in. Potato, ham, and cheese soup, Becky's recipe. Let me show you this soup. Just look in there. Butter, potatoes, ham, and cheese, yummy goodness. Potato, ham, and cheese soup. Thanks for watching this week. Hope you enjoy the soup recipe. Remember to go on Instagram to get the written recipe. And remember, at Grandmommy's house, the food is all about love, and everybody's welcome. See you later.